Okay, we're going to take a look at our first digital critical friends. We're going to be using two apps, Google Drive and Adobe Reader. We do hope in the next couple weeks to get the app Notability pushed out, which is actually even easier for the critical friends process. But Adobe Reader is going to work great for us for our first time. We do expect some bumps as we do when we learn anything new. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is open the Google Drive app and find the unit plan that we're about to give feedback on. So let me get back to my drive. So the first thing I'm going to do is find that North Staff Resources folder, tap it one time, then find the Critical Friends folder, tap it one time, then look through here and find whichever unit plan it is that you need to give some feedback on. And we're not actually going to open it, so don't tap the unit plan itself, but go over to the right and click the info button one time. I'm telling you, I make that mistake all the time. I think this is the one I want, tap it once, and then I have it open. But what I really want is this information button. And then I want to choose to open this in Adobe Reader. So I tap open in one time, and it'll start to load my options of other apps that I can open this particular document in. And when it does, I'm going to choose Adobe Reader, which is the red one with the squiggly A on it. So tap that once, and it's going to automatically open this document for me in Adobe Reader. Now, there are two different views in Adobe Reader, and you can access those by going right here to the eye. You can have a continuous page mode where you would scroll up to see each page, or you can flip it to a single page mode where you look at one page at a time and then you flip it side to side. It does not matter which one you use. But I want to zoom in down here on the 3E model and pretend like this is the part that I am listening to somebody present, and I have some I likes and I wonders I'd like to note. So a way I can do that very easily is tapping anywhere in the center of my iPad to make that toolbar come back up. Then I want to access my annotation toolbar by tapping one time on that center button. And now you can see at the bottom I have a few options that come up. I can add comments. These are some highlighting, underlining, strike through tools. I could add text if I want to. I think most of the time, however, you'll be using the pen. So I'm going to tap that pen tool one time. And now notice at the top of the screen I'm now in edit mode. So if I wanted to move or go to another page, I'd have to hit save first. So back to our critical friends process. Let's say we had a teacher who was presenting this, and I wanted to make some notes about I like. So I could use L's or stars maybe, using my stylus in my hand. And I really liked that they included, oh, undo that, sorry about that. I really liked that they included some self-pace options. So I put a little star there, or I could have put an L next to self-pace. I also loved this learner created question, so I put a big old star on that one as well. Well, that's kind of a ugly star, isn't it? Let's make a better star there, just because I like to have pretty stars. And then let's say I did have an I wonder. As the presenter was talking, she was talking about activity extensions, and I really wondered what that meant or who was designing the extensions, whether those are student or teacher-driven extensions. So I can make a little note out here, and I could put just a big W for wonder. I don't really have to make any other notes because I'm going to remember what my wonder was. Okay, so now I'm going to save these changes by tapping in the top right corner one time. And I'm ready to go on to the next page, so I can just scroll. Let's see here. Scroll to the next page. And let's see, we've listed that. I really didn't have any I likes or I wonders for that page. But now I do want to note, let's see here, that what I see on here is that they're going to take a pre-assessment over the entire unit. So I want to make a big I like on that one. So I'm going to go back to my pen tool, tap it really quickly once, and then I can maybe circle pre-assessment and put a big star so I can bring that up in the I likes. But I do have a next step for them, and I think that is looking at maybe last year's summatives before they write their pre-assessment. So I could continue to use my pen tool, and I could write out next steps, or maybe I could use an abbreviation of NS and say just a note for myself, because nobody else is going to see this document from me. Except me. So my next steps could be check out summative. So just something to jog my memory. And this is not the finest writing tool. There is a way to make it a finer point writing tool, but for Critical Friends, I think mostly you're going to be using stars for likes or L's for likes, W's for wonders, and maybe crudely writing out a next step just to jog your memory. Then I hit my annotations are save, and let's pretend like Critical Friends on this one is done. And I can go back to my documents over here in the top right-hand corner, and I can see, oops, excuse me, sorry about that. If I click on Documents once, I can see down here, here's that Lakey 3E unit plan for 6 weeks that I was just editing. So I can always go back to it if I want. Or Critical Friends is over, I probably never need to look at their unit plan again, so I could also hit Edit and Delete. And hit the trash can one time, and that'll delete that unit plan from my Adobe Reader. So that's pretty much the basics of Adobe Reader. Like I said, I think for the most part you'll use that pen tool to do some stars, some W's for wonders, and possibly some circling or next step highlighting.